Is it too early to start talking about the end of next football season, Tom?
I honestly think we should have started at the beginning of the play. You know what? Maybe September. We should have said, like, who's going to make the playoffs next year?
How about our predictions for the 2050 Super Bowl?
Ooh. Okay.
That's 25 years from now. That'll be Super Bowl 69, 79, 84. Wait, Super Bowl 84. Let's do 84. It. Predictions.
All right. Super Bowl 84 predictions coming to you live on GPS. We here.
Mister?
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I am Tom Grossi. That is Brandon Perna. And this is GPS. Yes.
And you have been excommunicated.
Excommunicato.
Get out of here. That's
our show.
Tom.
What'd you say, buddy?
So get out of here, Tom.
Okay.
All right. Now that I can speak freely, I am tired of those Green Bay Packers. Everybody.
Super Bowl 32 was a fluke and a fraudulent. Everyone knows that, the NFL conspired to get John Elway.
That's right.
At Super Bowl, okay?
And they're going to have to do the same thing for Josh Allen, I fear.
They're going to... If it comes out, the NFL is truly just out here. There's like, we're picking the winners, like in a blood ceremony, the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
What's it going to take for Josh Allen to be a part of that blood ceremony?
Ooh. Dude, the funniest thing the NFL could do is post a video of Roger Goodell having like a seance. And that's how he decides who's going to win the Super Bowl. Just lean into it so hard that we can't do anything but laugh.
Do you think Rodgers goes to Peru, does ayahuasca, and in the tent he sees the Super Bowl winner? Like that, he just comes out. It's like Groundhog's Day, and it's like, who is it, Aaron?
At the end of Enigma, it just shows the inside of his sweat lodge, and it just says Eagles, Chiefs, and then there's the final score.
Hey.
I'll take it, Aaron.
Listen, I still got to watch that documentary. I'm hoping to do it shortly. I gotta
finish. I got halfway of the last episode to go.
How is it? Is it all right?
If you're a football fan, I think it's worth watching.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I ranted about the hypocrisy of some of the stuff Rodgers says in it.
Sure.
And but like if you separate it's weird because like I love everything he's doing off the field for himself. Really do. I wanted to go to Costa Rica when I was 23 and do ayahuasca as well. I really did.
Yeah.
I looked into doing that shit. Like, I get why he's doing it.
Yeah, dude.
But I think like it tries to paint this picture of how that has singularly like saved his soul and made him like a better person and all these things that are fine. Like, I think as football fans, you want it to focus more on the football shit.
Sure.
In addition to it, because it just, all that other stuff makes it feel like a puff piece for Aaron. But everything about football, about the struggles, about like the injury recovery, like all that shit's cool.
Yeah.
Except for when he's getting like rehab and he's like, I'm built different. And the trainer's like, I know, you've told me.
Like, just like, can we please turn off the dolphin mating noises, please? Like, they're very, very loud.
But it's not bad,
I'm excited, dude. Like, because I also I love sports, right? Especially football.
Yeah.
So anything, like any documentaries behind the scenes, like I'm all about it. Like I enjoyed quarterback, I enjoyed wide receiver.
Yeah.
Obviously just Netflix ones. Question of the day. What, from an unbiased perspective, would be the best Super Bowl objectively as a great football game? Got to be Eagles, Patriots 2.0. Hate both teams, so that was pure cinema.
Okay. What was the best Super Bowl?
What was?
Yeah, that one was good. That was a great Super Bowl.
My answer is, and again, it's probably I have to go back and watch it. It's Rams Titans. Like that Super Bowl, I loved that Super Bowl.
Sure.
That was 1 yard line, greatest show on turf. Like that was pretty damn great.
I mean, at the time, Broncos Packers was considered one of the best games played in the Super Bowl.
Never seen it, no.
So that was pretty good.
What Super Bowl is that? I missed it.
32, I believe.
No, I think the Packers won Super Bowl 31 against the Patriots. I think if I'm not mistaken, Super Bowl 32, that was a leap year. They skipped that year, and I don't think they had a game that year.
That's what happened? A leap
year?
year?
I think so. I think they just went right to 33. The Broncos, they destroyed the Falcons, if I'm not mistaken. John Elway got his first ring, then he retired.
Oh, yeah, against Atlanta.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
So,
hold on. Let me look at these. Here's how I got to look at what games actually happened.
There we go, Kyle. Super Bowl 1 and 2 were great.
Super Bowl 1. Woo!
That's right.
All right, what do we got here? Oh, I wish there was a score here. That would have been funny. That would have been funny. Yeah, the Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl was actually pretty good. We forget that.
It was.
It was a good back and forth game. No. Yes,
Rams Cincinnati was good. There just wasn't a lot of caring behind it, right? Yeah. It was kind of just like, okay, yeah, it's at the time, because I see it now on on social media. Folks are like, man, there was that post that went viral. It was like, oh, we don't know how good we had it when it was like the Rams versus the Bengals because it was two different teams. And I was like, when that Super Bowl happened, no one gave a crap. Like, no, obviously, like Bengals fans and Rams fans were excited, but it was kind of just like, okay, all right.
Dude, I put up a Rams video right after the Super Bowl ended. Like a Rams, you won the Super Bowl hype video. Literally the worst performing video of my entire year. Like nobody cared. Not a single Rams fan was like, yeah, let's relive this.
Yep.
I was like, never doing that again.
I will say, New England, Seattle, that was an excellent game. Like that was, 1 yard line, throw it intercept. Like just objectively, that was a great game, and also the revenge for the Packers, great too. You gotta look at Giants.
Yeah,
right?
I think I really realized how much I did not like the Patriots and the Giants. Patriots Super Bowl.
Agreed.
You got the David Tyree catch. You got the Giants scoring after that. The tension was high. Ooh, that one was nice.
Pittsburgh, Arizona. Dude, it was right before halftime.
Good game.
Yep.
Yeah.
90-yard return and getting those toes down. Well, it depends on which Cardinals fans you talk to. It's a great question, though. That was a good question. Jets and Bears aren't making the playoffs until proven otherwise. Yeah, I think that's. I think the Bears are are the Bears closer?
The Bears closer to making the
playoffs than the Jets. I know we don't know who their quarterback is going to be, meaning the Jets.
Yeah, that's hard to answer. I would say yes. I would say yes until we, learn whether or not Rodgers is coming back. You know who might actually be closer than the Bears?
Duval.
I love you so much, and I'm so glad you clipped that because I saw that and was like, I have to remember download for GPS. Have to put it up there.
We needed it.
Duval.
It reminded me so much of
Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Honestly, like if you could combine Liam Cohen and Aaron Glenn, who had like a soundbite of him like saying like buckle up, you got to buckle up, saying like to his players, it's gonna be tough, buckle up. Like, oh yeah, that was you crash those two together. That's Jonathan Gannon getting to Arizona. Then, but also the more important thing that I heard this week.
There's a very low percentage of this that is smiles and glory holes. Very low percentage.
And that's not the thing is, Brandon, and if you've watched this show before, that is not the first time that Jerry Jones has said glory holes.
Yeah. But okay, I know what it means though. I know what it means.
Well, I think there's the interpretation that we have just from, pop culture.
It's about oil. It's about oil. And it clicked it clicked. I was like, oh, I bet a glory hole has something to do with like finding oil. And I watched Landman on Paramount Plus with Billy Bob Thornton. He's an oil guy, so maybe oil was just in my brain. So I looked it up, and it's like glory hole petroleum production. Somebody just needs to tell Jerry what, the other thing it means. But in the context of offshore petroleum industry, evacuation into the seafloor designed to protect the wellhead equipment installed at the surface of a petroleum well. Tell me where the fucking glory hole is. Anyway, it is oil related.
Please clip that. Please just clip that. Someone please just tell me where the glory hole is. Please just, if you
mining industry to refer to excavations. So I bet, that's why Jerry says it all the time.
Yeah, it's just you watch Shrinking?
I haven't watched the second season.
So, okay, this is the first season, I think, right? Harrison Ford, and he's talking about raw dogging. Yeah, he's just like, it doesn't mean what you think it means.
Yeah.
Hey, Coffee, thanks for this shout here. Perna getting shout out, NBC Sports article. All right, Jameson Williams.
I didn't get shouted out. They just linked to the short.
Yeah, that's cool.
Didn't say, hey, this is Brandon Perna saying Jameson Williams is fucking the turf. They didn't say that.
They should
cowards.
They should have.
Yeah, somebody tagged me in that a while ago. Unfortunately, that game did not end the way I would have liked.
This is coming up a lot. I mean,
retires, please.
We were talking about this last year, though, right? Remember last year we were all talking about like, oh, Travis Kelce's going to propose like at the end, and then they didn't. So now it's like, okay, now this time it's definitely got to happen. Not to be against love, and this has nothing to do with either person, but if the Philadelphia Eagles of all teams can ruin love and they could just beat the Chiefs so that Travis Kelce can't propose, I mean, that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah,
that would be pretty damn funny. If the Philadelphia Eagles, right, like Travis Kelce's trying to get down one knee and propose, and they're just fly Eagles, fly like that, I would respect that, and that's something that Philly fans would do. So I would appreciate it. I would.
I missed the Brady and the Pats.
Perna, are you at the point where the Chiefs have overtaken Tom Brady, your FYTB? You were Mr. FYTB.
Sure.
Have they overtaken the hatred for you? The Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't think I can ever hate a single entity as much as I hated the Patriots.
Okay.
I think it's probably because I've matured, I've grown up. Like I just, when the show's over, when I'm done working, I don't think about the Chiefs. I don't give a fuck. Tom Brady and the Patriots winning, that used to ruin my week. Like I used to be so like, it would pop in my head. I'm like, oh, those cocksucking motherfucking Patriots. Go full Al Swearingen from Deadwood, So I don't think I can. Actually, I realized this week, like I'm over the amount of people still complaining about the officiating with the Chiefs. And I never thought I would get tired of watching like a team who won a game have so many people try and tarnish their victory. Usually I'm like, that's funny, keep going. Yeah. And now I'm like, all right, guys, it's Wednesday and people are still posting about the spot of the ball and all this other stuff. And like, I don't want to see any more of it. It's annoying. It's annoying.
Yeah, no, I got you. Right. Well, I mean, again, like Chiefs fans aren't happy about it either, right? Because then, and again, as a Packers fan and many calls, like it makes it more hollow because it's like we're not even talking about the result of the game. Like we're not talking about the game, like the actual plays, because like that was a good game. Like the Chiefs and the Bills put on another great playoff classic. Yeah. It's frustrating as hell when you have any other influence there, but man, like it was a damn good game. But I agree with you. Like that's what's remaining, right? Like that's what's kind of carrying over. And now for the people who are going to watch the Super Bowl, it's like, oh man, like if anything happens, that's even remotely there. Because that's the thing too. Like we've also gotten into a point where the narrative is going to be confirmed correct regardless, right? because every single play there's gonna be a missed holding call. Every single play, like there's gonna be something. It's like, wow, they missed another face mask. Oh, and it was in the chat. Like I saw it in the chat when the Bills would do something well, right? And maybe it was like there was a little like, oh, maybe they missed a hold. Crickets, nothing. And I get it, but it's like, guys, let's just have the same energy the entire time and be like, oh no, that's bad officiating. That's bad officiating. Let's just keep it down.
Like that whole thing started with the Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl. I think like it became a big thing because of was it Bradbury that did the hold or Slay? I can't remember.
Bradbury. I could be wrong though.
It was the little grab on Juju at the line of scrimmage that, saved the Chiefs. That's where it started. It's the Super Bowl. It's the biggest stage.
Bradbury.
They call a very, very ticky-tacky penalty in one of the biggest moments of the game.
Yeah.
So that's where it started. And then, people started paying attention after that. And I hope it's not a story. I don't think it will be. I think the Eagles play like a different brand of football now.
Sure.
I think like the way they are carried by their offensive line and the run game, it's going to limit like the bullshit, and maybe that's me just being wishful.
Sure. I hope we don't have a single penalty. Just like it's just clean as a whistle. Let them play. Have a nice day. We don't even talk about it.
Sean, I'm looking into it, but you guys are about 2,400 signups away. You better pull up your britches.
Oh, so you hit 5,000.
We're over 5,000, baby.
Right.
We're over.
Oh my God, Garrett Wilson to Denver. I think Brandon's head would explode with joy.
Oh, I've seen it, man. He's followed a lot of the Broncos on social media. We just sent one of our guys over to the Jets. This is actually something I was going to bring up. So
good fit. Yeah, dude. He's a fantastic wide receiver. He's super duper young. Yeah. I mean, Garrett Wilson is going to pretty much help any quarterback that's throwing him the ball.
Yeah, because I mean he was good last year. Just like him and Rodgers maybe weren't always on the same page.
He was good a year before.
But yeah, this was something that's kind of been going on in the Broncos sphere, and Brandon, who now lives in Denver, obviously going to see more of it, even though he's a traitor Patriots fan. Broncos coaching staff. We lost our tight end coach to the Bears, going to be their OC, right? The passing game coordinator.
That's right, people.
Went to Detroit, going to be their OC. And the assistant GM went to the Jets. So, and then we let go of a couple guys. They're hoping, Rizzy doesn't get offered the Saints job. He's supposed to be our next special teams coach. But we've talked a lot about the Lions losing a lot of coaches. Broncos have as well. And that's just what happens when your team, especially if your team overperforms. A bunch of people thought Bo Nix was not going to be great. And then hey, that offense was pretty good. Yeah, it's going to happen. Also, shout out Broncos. 15,000 helmets for high schoolers here in the state of Colorado. A 4-year program. I think it says like a $12 million investment for awesome. Providing good equipment for the high school football programs here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Good tweet, Rachel. Your cat eating those Chiefs flags. You bastard, Rachel.
I love how we're just going through Brandon's tweets. This is
this is an ESPN Plus article. Couldn't log into that one, even though I have ESPN Plus. Never wants to log in on my phone. So annoying.
That's right. Twice. We repeated twice. It was before the Super Bowl, so it's fine.
Actually, let me go
to erase the history.
One more thing. We got to figure out what this actually means.
What?
This is important. This is really important, guys.
Press X to doubt.
That's really important. Here we go. Okay.
Okay.
I can look at this two ways, right, Tom?
You can, because
either this is good. This is how the Eagles stop the Chiefs because they are already at 666 for their wins, for their victories. But they're one away from having 666 losses, which would be given to them by the Chiefs, which would be the ultimate flex by the devil himself.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm inclined to think it's the Chiefs giving them 666 losses. I mean, I think that would be your fault, first of all, because what have you been putting the Chiefs at basically this entire run? 666. So this would be a full-blown self-fulfilled prophecy by one Brandon Perna if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it, Everett, yes.
But I think that Kenny Pickett's in this photo, it actually works in the Eagles' favor.
Because
I think
curse will go to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Kenny Pickett better build a bunker and never leave. The devil's coming for you, Kenny. I don't know what you did, my friend.
I don't know what he did either, but
I don't think double 666 is a devil thing. I think it's just one 666. You get two 666s, they cancel each other out. You know,
Brandon, didn't you just do a curse last week during Power Rankings and it didn't work? So I don't know if you are the expert.
I'm not an expert. I don't believe in it, so I'm not actually an expert. I'm on the periphery. But it's like it's a good tweet if Cole's comment comes in and gets 5,000 likes.
Yeah.
And like multiple people tagged me in the 666 thing, and I'm just like so slow. I'm like, oh yeah, here, let me tweet it out. And then of course it's like yep, people are into that.
Yep.
Okay, fine.
This has been a narrative that's been going around too ever since the games ended, championship. Pern and I were just talking about that of just like, yeah, people kind of tuned out, right? But that's also generalizing. It is still the Super Bowl, right? So I can see why like a lot of hardcore fans are like, yeah, I've talked about this. Like it's just not the most interesting matchup I think we could have had just because we've seen it. But we talked about this on Monday. I think it's ultimately gonna be a good game. You have two good football teams, right? We talked about it's a different Eagles team than they played a couple years ago. I think like the on-field product is going to be good. I think there's gonna be a ton of casual fans watching because it's still the Super Bowl though. So I don't know if they're really gonna plummet, but I think that there will be a general disinterest. And I think just as creators, like we talked about the Rams-Bengals Super Bowl, right? That was a thing after that Super Bowl and just like the follow-ups and the videos. People are like, okay, just not really, don't really want to engage with it. And then here, we might see a similar thing. Unless the Eagles win. I say all of this, but if the Eagles wind up winning, I feel like there will be an uptick on the amount of interest after the fact. If the Chiefs win again, it's going to be the most boring outcome, and you're going to hear every single which way of, oh, it's rigged, oh, it's scripted, and just like, oh, the leap and all that. And it's going to be a long off season. So
yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
If people are really that upset, I just don't believe they won't watch.
Sure.
The Bills-Chiefs game was the most watched football game, like the second most watched football game outside of a Super Bowl. It was 57.7 million people watched that shit live. Like, people aren't tuning out, they're not looking away. That's a lot of talk. Prove it.
Damn. Yeah, 57.6. I'm so glad you brought that up, Paul. Coffee with a penny. For kidding.
Now, a lot of people wanted to see the Chiefs lose, obviously, but
sure. But that's a great point because in the wild card round, the Saturday games, like they held pretty strong. I think when they streamed it on Amazon, like the Steelers, Ravens, it was like, oh man, like this was a really highly streamed game.
Yeah.
But then Sunday, like things dipped. I think it was like 3 million less than it was the year before, if I'm not mistaken.
3 or 8 million, yeah.
Yeah. So like it popped up obviously back for the AFC Championship game. I think the Bills are a popular team, but the Chiefs are also like gotten to this point.
Yeah.
Popular team. So
the low rating was for the was it for the Bills Ravens game? Yeah, it was Bills Ravens game that had the low rating.
Which is weird. Like as a football fan, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait.
I don't think Ravens have the numbers like in terms of viewership, right? You look at fan bases like in two ways where you got people who show up to games, right? So it's like Chiefs fans, even if the Chiefs are bad, Arrowhead's always popping.
Sure.
Broncos Stadium, always popping. Seahawks fans show up to those games. Saints fans show up. That's a loud place to go into. But like, do a Saints video, probably not going to do too well.
Sure.
Like the people craving Saints stuff. There's not like that giant audience that you have with a team like
the Cowboys,
the Bears, or the Jets right now, who have not been good, but people are interested in those teams. Ravens, solid fan base locally, but on a national scale, they're not on par with the Chiefs right now. And the Chiefs, they got a giant boost because of Taylor Swift. Like, that effect is real, and that they would be popular regardless because they have Patrick Mahomes. They keep winning. Same thing we saw with the Patriots, who before Brady and Belichick were there, weren't the same thing. So I think you're talking about TV viewership numbers for big games. It comes down to the teams in that matchup, versus it just being the NFL game. So it's going to be more people are going to be watching than the year before. You know what I mean?
I mean, like, I complain every single year, right? When Sunday Night Football week 1 is the Giants versus the Cowboys. But the reason why they put them in primetime all the time is because they have a nationwide audience, right? Like, the Cowboys are pushed as hard as they are, even if they're not good, because it's the Dallas Cowboys. It's that recognizable brand, etc. But the point that you made about the Chiefs, I mean, man, just go back in history, right? The Chiefs before Patrick Mahomes, like, they were not a big market team. Like, they were kind of like a either bad or kind of just like middle of the road team, Matt Castle hanging out. And then Patrick Mahomes, and they start winning. And then it's like, oh, well, now, of course, that's going to go. The same thing happened with the Seahawks. You mentioned them before. Dude, I remember sitting and streaming these games and going, wow, like, the Seahawks fans go, there's a ton of bandwagon fans with us now. Like, the Seahawks were Legion of Boom was insanely popular because it was a different type of football, right? It was like that old smash mouth, like, hey, we're going to destroy you kind of football. Coffee, I think that there's a couple things you could look at. Perna brought up a great point on Monday and was like, hey, like, even with that Xavier Worthy catch, right, there was that defensive holding, so they're not going to get that spot, even if they ruled that incomplete, but it was still going to be a first down. And, obviously we don't know how that would play out, but I don't think it wasn't the worst officiated game we've even seen in the playoffs. So unfortunately, again, we just go back to consistency, and we're never going to get that unless the league changes things.
Yeah. And I know we talked about this a little bit too, right? And this probably counters my point about the Ravens, but a big part of this is primetime games, right? So the Broncos, like, their average national TV viewers, it was pretty low on this. But we had the fewest amount of primetime games we've ever had until like late in the season when we got flexed, right? Lions were on primetime a ton. Cowboys always are. Chiefs had a bunch of primetime games. Packers had a ton of primetime games. I would have to look at the Ravens there, because this whatever I just said about the Ravens, this makes me look stupid. Good job. Maybe it's a bigger issue with the Bills. Maybe the Bills aren't as popular as we thought. Maybe more Ravens fans were watching than Bills fans. I don't know. I disagree. But you see what I'm saying? Like, viewership's about putting these games in those prime TV spots. And the Lions had a lot of primetime games, and the Lions were a team a lot of people wanted to see win. It's the right combo for them.
And I remember a couple years ago, literally the year that they wound up beating the Packers, week 18, that was their only primetime game. Like, that was literally a couple years ago now. That was their only primetime game. They didn't have this. They had zero. And at the very end, they're like, here's this random one on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
And the rest.
The
Sorry,
team also has to appeal to, like, their outside of their own fan base. So the Lions are a team that people outside of being Lions fans are curious about. They'll root for. It's a good story.
Sure.
People wanting to see the Chiefs lose who aren't Chiefs fans. That's good for their business.
Yeah.
I saw somebody say Jaden Daniels about his jersey in the comments, that he had like one of the highest selling jerseys this year. And Washington, even when they're bad, still good viewership numbers for the most part, and still a very profitable team and organization. So, like, that's a fan base that feels like it's been kind of in a fucking coma for like 10 years, and now they're coming back to life because they finally have something to be excited about.
Tickets selling out, 100%. I don't know if their Eagles are getting the backlash of the Chiefs drama. You also, Xavier, like, brother, we got 2 weeks to go to the Super Bowl, and it's a long 2 weeks. It's a long 2 weeks. So there's going to be plenty more talk about the Philadelphia Eagles as we get closer. A lot. Shout out Rich Eisen. Oh, real quick, before we get to this, there's a couple things. Mike McCarthy saying, hey, gonna go focus on the next coaching cycle. So he's pulled his name, so he's not gonna do anything.
No McCarthy.
What the hell's going on with the New Orleans Saints? Saints, they need a head coach still. And I mean, we talked about it a lot about Mickey Loomis and maybe not being a great fit there. But the Saints job is not very attractive right now. I think there's a few things. There's the leadership that we were just talking about. I think the players, the cap situation, and they're kind of just waiting. Like this feels like all right, we're going to go and hire someone and they might be fired by the end of the year. Like just wait till the next coaching cycle. I don't know.
If they knew it was going to be this hard, they probably would have kept Dennis Allen and just, I'm not saying tanked it, but did the calorie. They're going to do a calorie reset. That team is getting healthy. No more fried New Orleans food for the Saints. It is vegetables and lean protein.
There you
go. I've been to New Orleans a couple times, and every time I'm there, I'm like, how do people survive the city and not just have heart attacks? Like every restaurant, it's like 30 different options of fried food.
It's awesome.
I'm like, let me eat something that's not fried. Anyway, they should have kept Dennis Allen because it doesn't seem like anybody wants a job. Mike McCarthy and the Saints are both trying to put out the PR that they didn't want each other, right? McCarthy wasn't interested in them. They weren't interested in Mike McCarthy. Fair enough.
I didn't even know them. I didn't even talk to them once. I didn't know they were a team.
Derek Carr, nobody wants to coach him apparently. And it looks like Kellen Moore's the front runner to get that job. It looks like they're waiting and they can't do anything with Kellen Moore while he's down in New Orleans, preparing for the Super Bowl. He interviewed with them yesterday or the day before, something like that.
Don't let him leave New Orleans. They just like they're at the Super Bowl and they're like, okay, you just stay here now. You can't leave the stadium. Yeah. Sorry, can't do it.
So I think it'll be Kellen Moore if he wants it. I think they're just waiting for that. But to be the last team in this coaching cycle, when the Cowboys fumbled it harder than any team we've seen, the Cowboys set the bar as low as it could be, and the Saints were like, ha, we'll be underneath you, Dallas. We'll be the last ones to choose. And maybe Kellen Moore, maybe he's good. Who knows? We'll see. I hope something works out there for the Saints and their fans, but doesn't feel like next year's going to be their season, which is a good segue right into...
Yes. Carver?
Thank you for the offer, Rachel. I went with Rachel's 2023 logos here because I already made this and I didn't want to do a new one.
That's fair. I think the Bears with Johnson. And I think a lot of it is just because you're getting like Dennis Allen. I think that they're ready to go. Jaguars could be like, obviously, Cohen, kind of awkward introduction and a little controversy going into it. But I think ultimately, if Trevor Lawrence is playing well, and the defense was abysmal. It was horrible. So if that's able to get better, like the Jaguars compete, because you look at the AFC South right now, besides the Texans who were able to win a playoff game, and like they're the defense been playing well. You got to hope that Stroud and new OC, they'll be good. But the AFC South, they don't got world enders there. Like that is an open division.
Yeah. And I think like what the Jags success also is going to come down to is like the coaching staff Liam Cohen assembles, right?
Yes.
Right now, like it feels like all the good assistants or coordinators, they're all going to either the Bears with Ben Johnson or the Jets with Aaron Glenn right now. It's like those guys are taking all the hot names. So how the Jags build their coaching staff under Liam Cohen, I think, is incredibly important. And I think he's going to be good. I think he's goofy, and people are going to be like, oh, that's not going to work. But we thought the same thing about Dan Campbell in his opening press conference. We're like, there's no middle ground here. He's either going to be great or he's going to be terrible.
I mean,
it's great. And now we'll see how great Dan Campbell really is, that he's lost a couple key coordinators, and the Lions have had to replenish their coaching staff.
I mean, every Bears head coach has said that they're going to take the North or beat the Packers or what have you, and look what's happened. So, Saad, I will say, I love the turnaround. Took a little bit, but hey, we're already on to 2025. I appreciate that, Saad.
Yeah.
You have better 25.
The difference with Ben Johnson going to the Bears is I think that's an exciting coaching hire.
Mm-hmm.
Eberflus were like, maybe. Matt Nagy were like, maybe. Nobody was like, Matt Nagy is the savior. And that's a dangerous thing to put on a man. It's a dangerous thing labeled to put on Ben Johnson, but I think there's legitimately valid optimism behind Ben Johnson and who he is as a coach. Obviously, still a lot of things got to work out. He could be a great coach, and the Bears season could be terrible because of injuries next year, because of things outside of his control. We'll see.
That's right, Fisher. That's right. Right before the Super Bowl.
I think you spin the wheel live on GPS so we can get max sadness when it picks 666.
True.
Maybe I should just put all 666s, and then we'll determine.
Hey, number of the beats.
Educated on it.
And fire.
Educated.
All right. Who's making the playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have dysfunction 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, well, this is old. I didn't update this. So I don't even know what this means.
Yeah.
We can put whatever we want here. We got playoff teams, fringe playoff teams.
Then we despair, maybe.
Despair.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like that.
Cursed.
Okay, so
we'll just leave this bottom row open right now. Okay, because we can just get the Chiefs will be a playoff team.
Yep.
That's an easy one. That's a very easy one. Rest of you fuckers.
That's it. Everybody else is a fringe. The only playoff team guaranteed, the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. I'm a little worried that the Bills are going to have their it's like a championship hangover. I think it's going to be a
championship hangover.
Yeah, they got the championship hangover.
They've been having is they won 2 in a row.
I think this is the toughest loss they've had though. Last year was not the championship; it was divisional, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said the Chiefs.
No, the Bills.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I misheard.
I thought you said
the Chiefs maybe will have a championship hangover. And
going I was like, into the Super Bowl. I hope so.
What?
I hope so. And just to go back to the Patriots hate earlier, if Travis Kelce was the Kansas City Chiefs quarterback, then they would probably be above Patriots all time for me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't like that, man.
I don't mind. Like, I don't mind him when it's him and Jason talking. That grounds me. But yeah, like after a football game, his dumb fucking do a little dance, make a little love, like all of his gotta fight for your like his just it's so annoying. He's so annoying up there, especially when his team wins. He is not likable in those moments. He is as annoying of a fucking bro as you can have up there.
Alex.
Podcast? Him and Jason? I like them both. But outside of that, because Mahomes to me, he doesn't make me as angry as Tom Brady did.
Okay. So
like after a game, listening to Tom, I'm like, this guy's so fake. Mahomes is just like, yeah, we just it's fourth down. That's Mahomes, just a bunch of okay, he's fine. Gibberish.
Also, real quick, folks, you don't want to watch the Super Bowl? Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. I ain't gonna convince you to watch the Super Bowl. You do whatever. That is your time and your attention. You spend it wherever the hell you want to spend it. That's it. All right, Nolan. All right.
Not true, Johnny. Not true. Travis Kelce is the guy I pretended to be friends with, so I didn't get bullied.
That's right. That's smart. That's big brain time right there.
I'll get you some beer this weekend, Travis. Don't worry.
Get with my dad's ID. Okay. This is actually difficult now looking at this.
I'm sorry. I didn't know thinking Travis Kelce was annoying was a hot take. He is annoying. He is certainly annoying. That can't be a revelation to people.
I really don't watch a lot of him. I think it's like the AFC, like, oh man, when they won the championship, I ain't watching the post game like celebrate. I don't care. Like, yeah, I know he's saying I don't care. It's just
Travis is lucky Jason is his brother for PR. Anyway,
Sofa. It's very, very true. It's very, very. I mean, Gibbs too, Sofa. Talk about Gibbs. I mean, Gibbs was running all over the Commanders. I mean, I know that they obviously went down by 10 points there, but
I know. Yeah, that's why I'm confident. Or I feel good about the Eagles' chances. Anyway, Pagano getting back into coaching.
That's fun.
Chucky.
He's in the secondary, right, for Baltimore? Secondary, I think. Right, he's secondary coach. All right. I think the Eagles, right, if they have Saquon again next year, like, which they should, I think that they're another playoff team just because of that alone. I feel like the Eagles are built pretty well. I mean, they have that defense, especially that secondary, is super young, in terms of just the brand new guys that they got who are both up for defensive rookie of the year. Bound's amazing. Like, I think that they're going to be competitive in a playoff team next year too.
The Eagles?
Yeah.
Fair enough. This is a bold take. The two teams in the Super Bowl
might be good next year.
All right.
Well, hey, that'd be a bold take if and you'd be wrong if you said about the 49ers this year. So fair.
Fair.
Ooh.
Yeah.
S-Box, win or lose. How do you feel about the Eagles' future Super Bowl window? I don't think it's the last chance for a while. No, it's just how long can they keep that unit together? And I think as long as their offensive line in terms of the run game is good, and then they have Saquon, as long as he's healthy, they're going to be competitive.
They got a good window.
And the defense is great. So it's always difficult because if we went back to October of 2024, you have folks saying, hey, let's fire Nick Sirianni. But now they're in the Super Bowl. Well, you're Hall of Fame coach.
That's my Hall of Famer. Oops.
Sorry.
No, you're good. This is true for Philly. They need to re-sign Zach Bond. Broncos fired their inside linebackers coach. Sean Payton was the guy who actually drafted Zach Bond. Maybe Zach Bond is a Bronco, is what I'm saying. We're going to take your pride and joy.
Bond's amazing. Perna loves
He is going to save your franchise, Vision Quest.
I'm okay with
your Vision Quest is an offense that functions at a high level once again, with the Kubiak bloodline running strong through Seattle. That's what. All right, so we got Chiefs, Eagles.
Yep. I'm going to say Chargers. They have a good draft free agency. I think it's Chargers.
Yeah, okay.
I think they're there.
I agree. Your division's where it gets tricky.
It is. It gets very tricky. Yeah. I think the Packers, I think the Packers will be contending.
Hold on. I got to take a fringe playoff team, Vikings.
It depends on what happens to JJ. If JJ's their guy. Yeah.
I think their uncertainty at quarterback right now makes it impossible to predict.
Correct.
I don't think Sam Darnold will be back necessarily.
I don't either.
And we just don't know who JJ is. Obviously, you love everything else about the Vikings. You think they've got the right coach, looks like Brian Flores is going to be back for defensive coordinator, right? He's not going anywhere. But if there's a team that I feel like could take a step back in that division based on quarterback, Vikings right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're a 14-win team who blew past everybody's expectations.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, it's going to be tough for the Lions to win 14 games again.
Oh, to win 14 for sure. Yeah, I feel like your division's going to be a little more, 11-12 win at the top.
I agree.
It's not going to be that, because the Bears, a lot of close games against the division rivals this year that they kept losing. Bears probably win maybe one or two of those, unless they're going to, run train on you guys, but they're going to be competitive.
Yes, Marshawn Lynch yelling Raiders during Pete Carroll's press conference, and Pete Carroll not knowing that it was Marshawn too it's pretty great. I like Pete Carroll for the Raiders a lot. I think he's going to kind of get him back on track. And again, regardless of how long he stays, whether it's even just for 2 or 3 years, I think just having that experience there, building that roster.
Yeah. I'm good. It feels like the Raiders they hired a grown-up for their coaching staff. They're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Couldn't get Ben Johnson. Let's bring in Daddy. Daddy's he's gonna put some order and discipline here. We'll be better. Maybe not great, but we will be better with old Petey.
I think the Ravens have a good shot of making it back. I think the Bills.
Okay. Well, so the North is the two interesting. I'm gonna put. You know what? Bengals are a playoff team next year.
Oh God, they're off. They have so many things to do in their off season. I don't disagree, but I'm hesitant because I need to. It's like the Vikings. Like I need to see what they do in the off season. Raphael, interesting. Rams are a very interesting football team. Their D-line, obviously, they got some great additions there.
I agree. When Tom put this as an idea in the rundown this morning, I was like, you know what? I put George Pickens in the thumbnail. I think the Steelers miss the playoffs next year. I think it actually happens. They miss, right? Like we're saying this thing about the Chiefs where they got to lose a game at some point. As we kept saying, like they got to lose a game at some point.
Spoilers, they didn't have to.
They didn't have to. They're back in the Super Bowl. Tomlin, always going to get the Steelers in. I think this is the year they miss.
It wouldn't be the worst thing.
He doesn't have a winning record. They don't know who their quarterback is either. Russ Wilson, most rumored to the Raiders right now. They're going to roll with Justin Fields next year. They're going to go after Sam Darnold. If they get Sam Darnold, maybe they overachieve. What's fun about this is we got free agency ahead of us. We got a draft ahead of us. We are just, there's some holes in whatever teams we put in this situation, but I'm going to say Steelers, despair.
It's a great question, William. I don't know. I think you have some very, very good quarterbacks in the NFC. I think it's also just like Mahomes been around for a while, Jackson around for a while, like Allen, the Burrows made it to the Super Bowl. I don't know. Because like, I don't think, even with Jalen Hurts, like you saying that he's like an amazing quarterback, like that's going to get a bunch of pushback. And I think he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they could develop into those guys, but as of right this second, they're going to be lagging behind the AFC in terms of like that star power at quarterback.
Yeah.
Until Jordan Love becomes a Hall of Famer, obviously. That's true, Stern. You think I think the Ravens back in the playoffs. I still think they're there.
Yeah, I'm gonna be down on the Browns and Steelers for the AFC North.
Fair.
Browns, big quarterback question. You know, I don't think it's gonna be Watson next year because he re-tore his Achilles or whatever. So it's like who is their quarterback? Are they drafting a dude? They getting a young rookie in there, gonna save him? They're not. They can't go after Sam Darnold. They're not going to have the money to pay Sam Darnold. Russell Wilson as a Cleveland Brown would be so hilarious to me. I mean, fuck, that would be funny. But until they solve that, I don't know. And maybe Myles Garrett forces his way out, right? Like, I don't know if he wants to come back. I know he doesn't want to play for a team he doesn't believe is a contender. I saw somebody, put Myles Garrett in a Buffalo Bills jersey, and I was like, "Oh God, that would be so sweet.
That would be
so sweet."
Could happen, Eli.
Bills need some weapons.
Well, they spent that money on Von Miller, right? Like hoping there'd be that kind of signing.
Yeah, it was just Von was a lot older, and injury derailed that first season where he was playing pretty well, and then he didn't do anything in that Chiefs game. He made the big play against the Ravens, but
where are they at? Okay, so the reason, so I was going to say, I think the Cardinals and Falcons, you can put them at fringe. I think they'll be competing for, to get into the postseason.
Yeah, I think Cardinals
I feel pretty comfortable with that. Falcons, I could see it too. They're all the way on the left top if you agree. Yeah, I put them at fringe because I want to see more with Penix. Like I got to see him play more.
I think, okay, this is tough. Yeah, it is Penix, right? We got Penix.
Yeah.
And I believe Baker Mayfield is very good. And I talked about like every year his offensive coordinator's gone. How the Buccaneers replace what we think Liam Cohen was doing for that offense is going to be what determines the Buccaneers' success this next season.
the biggest difference, they found a run game, right? Like that, like having Bucky Irving is I feel comfortable saying they're a playoff team, but I would understand fringe playoff team because you got to see it, right?
And then you got to factor in Bryce Young.
Sure.
He had a great, he did one of the more impressive things where he played much better after getting benched on pretty much every level.
The Cowboys game didn't show up, but like everything else of that, you saw a ton of progress.
While the Panthers kept losing.
Yeah.
Right? You got a lot of credit for his team losing. But I think the Panthers have something to build on with Bryce heading into this season. So I think maybe one of the most unpredictable things is who actually wins the NFC South. It's not going to be the Saints. They are right now, they are cursed.
Saints cursed, yeah.
I think Atlanta, Carolina, and Tampa Bay have equal chances of winning that division. And I don't know if there's another division where there's 3 teams. I think I would not be surprised if any one of them actually walk away atop that division. Like,
sure.
Falcons need a better defense. They got to see who Michael Penix is. We think Bryce Young showed improvement, but let's see it through the course of a full season when expectations are back on him. Baker is the best quarterback in that division right now. Tampa's proven to have the best weapons on offense. We keep saying the Falcons do, but then for whatever reason, they're never that dominant. Fuck it though. Until proven wrong, I'm going with the Bucs up there.
Yeah.
And we'll put Carolina and Atlanta as fringe. Does that feel right to you, Tom?
Yeah, I think that feels pretty good. Because, again, I want to see Penix. I want Bryce Young, they have to do some work in this offseason, but I like the direction they're going in. And they're in a division, as you were just talking about, where this is possible. So I agree. Steven, it's a good question. I'm trying to look up and see the numbers. It says Super Bowl 58 was $62.5 million, but then there's other ones like $123.7 million. It would have to be millions upon millions of people not tuning in. And I don't, because it's also, I'm going to use a wrestling analogy here. It's like WrestleMania, right? The reason why WWE takes that so seriously is that's their Super Bowl. It's when casual fans who maybe aren't really tuning into a ton of football are like, hey, I'm going to go watch this one, right? It's like going to church on Easter or Christmas. You're like, all right, well, we'll show up on the holidays when we're supposed to. It's basically a football holiday. So I don't know if there's going to be enough people, but yeah, that's where I see it. Ooh, 3 make it, 1 go to Cancun. Yeah, I'm leaning Pittsburgh, maybe. I'm leaning Pittsburgh. Cursed there. Better, but not playoff. Okay, I was waiting for this.
Raiders. They'll be better, but no playoffs.
I like that.
They got to find a QB too.
Where are the Colts? Because I liked actually your dysfunction one for because they despair.
Oh, dysfunction.
They were a dysfunction because again, they're another team that they have the tools.
Yeah.
Right. I think that they can be good. It's just we're waiting, and I don't know if you have the leadership to do so, and that could be a problem.
Yeah, I think Shane Steichen is got his butt firmly planted on the hot seat this season. Right. His ass is going to be fire all year long.
Jaguars. I put them fringe for me. I can't commit to them. I can't commit to that defense.
I think Jacksonville's going to be better. Okay, I'll put them on fringe because I think it's still the Texans' division to lose.
I agree.
We saw the Texans' defense play very well in down the stretch in the playoffs. They fired their offensive coordinator. So let's assume that maybe their offense gets a little better. Maybe all of their receivers don't suffer horrific injuries and season-ending injuries. I think they're going to need, we can't expect Tank Dell to be back next year. Diggs should be back, but is he going to be 100%? They've got Joe Mixon, but they're a team I feel like they need to draft a weapon or two or make another free. I don't think they're going to go free agency like wide receiver, but they need.
Yeah,
they need
Diggs
some.
Is a free agent.
Diggs is free. Oh yeah, it was a 1-year deal, right?
Because they traded for him, so it was just
so he's probably gone. So maybe they will do a splash free agent thing.
Yeah. Jets is.
There's a very low percentage of this that is smiles and glory holes. Very low percentage.
Smiles and glory holes, Jerry.
That's a great album title.
Smiles and glory
Smiles
holes.
and glory holes.
It's a country album for sure.
Smiles
and glory holes.
As it should, John.
Those were the days when my truck ran tough. With my beer in my fridge, ice cold with my dog who loved on me when she broke my heart. It's why I sought out smiles and glory holes. Give me the country Grammy.
I think it's just called a Grammy, but yeah. That's
No, it's a second tier music. It deserves a second tier award.
Patriots better, but no playoffs. That's where I would be at.
Yeah, what's
Patriots and Giants. I'd put them both there. Giants, there's just so many places to go. But yeah, I feel like they have to be a little bit better than their record.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, it's a little disparity, but Curse is good. Curse is very, very good for the Jets. Yankees go. See, here's the thing. Eberflus, I know and I'm saying this as a Packers fan. I don't think Eberflus is a bad defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I don't think that's bad.
So I don't think it's going to be the worst for Dallas. I think it's a lot of fun to make fun of because I don't think he was a great head coach, but I think he could do his job on the defense. So I don't know. And again, like the Cowboys defense looked a bit better near the end of the season. So
yeah, I don't think that's terrible. I'm going to do this for the Bears. Might not be cursed anymore. You might not be. You could still be cursed, but you might not be cursed anymore.
I prefer honey mustard after all of those.
Whoa.
Can't really do now, but and then Dijon after that.
Yeah, give me some brown mustard. Give me some Dijon.
Mustard.
Give me some spice. Mustard. Just give me some wasabi, baby. Straight up wasabi.
Maybe he goes to the Saints next year after they've gutted their team. Maybe he goes to the Steelers if they move on from Mike Tomlin. Yeah. I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know if anyone's going to take a shot on him in 26. It might be one of those scenarios where they're just like, hey, we need to kind of rebuild some culture here.
Commanders, they're a playoff team again.
Right? So I can see them being a fringe playoff team, the Commanders, just because their schedule is going to be a pain in the ass, at least just from right now. And two, Jayden Daniels, phenomenal rookie year. CJ Stroud, phenomenal rookie year, right?
Yeah.
Just got to see, as you know, how that's going to be like now. There's got some film on them now. And I don't think the Commanders have some cap space. They could rebuild that defensive line. Like there's a lot of things that they can do. If they nail this draft, they're going to be looking real, real good. I'm a little not concerned, but I'm like, okay, let's see what they look like in year 2.
Yeah, I mean, Jayden's season might not be as good as his rookie season, but
yeah,
I think he will be
glorious.
Good. Now, I said that, and I said about CJ Stroud last year. I said I'm very confident he's not going to have the sophomore slump. He's not going to fall off. He will be close to the same. I feel more confident in Jayden Daniels right now than CJ Stroud last year. So maybe that's a curse for Jayden. Okay. But he does so many things well. He's so dynamic. Oh man. It's like he's got like the same athletic skill set as Lamar Jackson. But I feel like he's a little more advanced in terms of who he is as like a complete passer than Lamar was heading into his second season. I feel like Jayden did a little bit more with less, maybe.
I can feel that.
You know, I feel good about Jayden. I think they'll be playoffs here. I'm going to put the Dolphins in.
Dolphins, that one I can't agree with you on.
We got to go. I think AFC East. You think it's just the Bills again in the AFC East?
I have no confidence in anybody in the AFC East except the Bills to at least make the postseason because every year I look like a complete asshole because I'm like, okay, now the Jets are going to do something. Okay, now the Dolphins. And every single year. So you know what? It's like the Chargers. I was really high on the Chargers for a few years, and now I put the Dolphins at fringe, and that's the best that you're going to get from me. You gotta prove me wrong. You gotta prove. For me, they're fringe. I can't do it.
Tua healthy? Yes. If Tua's healthy, Dolphins are a playoff team.
Okay.
I'm only doing that by numbers, right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Easy. We got to have 7 AFC playoff teams. Broncos? Yeah, I'm putting them in. So it's either like the Dolphins or you're looking to the Steelers, the Browns, the Jags. You got to pick that final AFC team to go in, Tom. Because I think the Broncos will be a playoff team. So you got Miami, Jacksonville, Steelers. Nope, they're out. So your choices are Browns, Jets, Titans, Colts, Jags, Raiders, Dolphins. I think it's between the Dolphins and Jags, but
yeah, that's where I'd lean to. I just get the Jaguars defense. You know what? I'll go Jaguars. Prove me wrong, Dolphins, please. Cordell! Oh, kidding. Got a good feeling about the Panthers. Listen, Cordell, the greatest gift that the Panthers could have given you this season is hope for next year. And it looked like for a bit there was not going to be any. Bryce Young gets benched. You're like, there's not hope coming down in this town. And now there's some hope. So, yeah, I'm super excited. I am super duper excited for the Panthers. I don't know if they're going to be a playoff team, but I think their division is open enough. It's going to be competitive where they can make some advancements. So hope. Here's for the hope. Well, I got to find a good clip for that. Let's see. What's up? Hope.
Oh, wow. Is that a pancreas?
Pancreas is hope. Okay. Excuse me. What are you doing? Why? Whoa. You could put my Packers back up a playoff team. Thank you very much. You could scooch them on up.
I don't know. Woo.
I don't care. Woo. Wait, you're putting the Rams guaranteed playoff?
Yeah, I like the Rams. I like what they've built. Now the Rams kind of have a quarterback question too. Are they bringing back Stafford?
He can play.
He can play. Here, I'm gonna just put the remaining fringers here. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3,
5, I think.
4,
Commanders.
5. So we need 2 more NFC teams.
The
I'll
Green
give
Bay
you
Packers.
your Packers. Fine.
That's right.
I'll give them to you.
Oh no, cool, bro. I'm inviting Mike McCarthy to the wedding. He's gonna have a grand old time there. Pittsburgh boy, come on now.
Yeah. And in this moment, I think you're debating between the Vikings, the Seahawks, and the 49ers.
I'm not debating between the Vikings. So I think
you're not. I think all of us logical football fans are.
Unbiased.
Unbiased.
Oh, hold on. Let me look up
more logic here today, baby.
Logical football.
Yeah, more logic here today.
In logical football land.
Yep.
Logical.
Yep.
Logical. That
you heard it here first.
Heavy lifting.
2025. Brandon Perna more logical about football than Tom Grossi. All right. I think it comes down to, I don't think the NFC West is going to have just one team in again. I think it was a weird year for them. I think the 49ers will be better.
Sure.
The Seahawks, should be better. I think the Vikings are going to be vying for that spot with the Packers. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's great. You could choose the NFC team. You may choose the AFC team, so you can choose the NFC team.
It's boring. I just feel like it'll be the Niners again.
I think it might be.
Had their down year, which means they're going to be great next year.
Getting back Robert Saleh.
They're going to suck again. 2027, they'll be great.
Robert Saleh as your DC is going to.
I think that's nice.
That is going to help a lot. So, yeah, I think it's that. Yeah,
Dude, what if we just got it exactly right?
That'd be pretty
far away. Will somebody remember this if we're right? And if we're really wrong, just forget about it.
Forget about it. It never happened. Yeah, forget about it. Forget about it. That's what I'm saying. 49. I think the 49ers are going to be competitive. The Seahawks too, though. The Seahawks, if they get an offensive line, because I do think you have a ceiling, kind of just with the personnel that you have. But I think if you get an offensive line, it's going to help significantly. Let's see what happens with like Lockett and stuff. But
I mean, yeah, I'm putting the Rams over the Niners. Like, I think they've found something pretty incredible with their defense right now.
We have too many AFC teams, apparently. Hold on.
They have the second best coach in the NFL in Sean McVay on a year-to-year basis.
AFC teams, so good. Take the Jaguars out.
I have 8 of
them. Yeah, Mr. Logic.
Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I did. I miscounted.
Good. Good. Excellent. Fringe playoff teams. All right, or if Tua's healthy, the Jaguars.
If Tua's not healthy, the Jags get in.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't think that's going to have anything to do with it, Miguel, but I mean, we get some home field advantage.
I think you have questions about Brock Purdy in important moments if you're a Niners fan. I think he's a great quarterback. We'll see.
I think
I mean, dude, the Rams defense, man. I like it.
I love it. Perna, what do you got coming out today, buddy?
Oh, I got a Josh Allen Bills episode coming out today.
Nicely done.
It's good. It's honest. It's gonna hurt.
Logical.
It is actually. Josh Allen, our most tragic modern quarterback.
Oh yes, that is a good question. What are you doing on Sunday, Brandon?
Oh yes, I am streaming Coach on Sunday. Probably I'll start when the Pro Bowl starts. But yeah, Sunday on the GPS Clips channel, I will be streaming season 3 of Coach. How long season 3?
The finale is 45 minutes. But it's like one of the best things I've ever made.
Yeah. So I will stream through Coach. It will be a fundraiser stream. I'll be doing it for Solving Kids Cancer. All donos will just go straight to them.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, thank you for reminding me. Remind me again on Friday. But you got to be subscribed to GPS Clips. That's where I'm going to do it. Johnny Barks puts in a lot of work there.
That's right. I was planning on streaming the Rumble. I even reached out to Wes, who said yes. And then last night I bought tickets to the Royal Rumble, so I will be there in Indianapolis on Saturday. So I'm going to stream Mania instead because I am definitely not going to Mania because that's way too expensive. So I'll see you at the Rumble, baby. Today, predictions going to be dropping. Super Bowl predictions. I learned from it. I'm not putting it out next week. So put it out today. And then also members Q&A is likely tonight as well. So I just got to finish some stuff, but looking for members Q&A as well.
Nice.
Folks, we'll see you on Friday for another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated.
And you've reached your destination. Come back Friday when we decide which coaches will be fired during the 2033 NFL season.
It's so good. It's so